Moving to the General Options tab, which is the third tab in the programming software, you're going to find several system settings. We're going to start at the top in the upper left-hand corner where it says Panel Name. The panel name is used in the subject line of the emails that the fire alarm control panel sends, as well as in the reports. This field is limited to 40 characters, which can be used for your panel location description or job description. For example, the panel that is in my office, I've given it a panel name of Training Panel at Potter North. Now, as I mentioned, this is going to be used in the emails that this fire panel sends to me or in the reports. So I'm going to bring up my email now so you can see where this is used. Looking at my email account, I have all my emails from my Potter fire control panels coming into a particular folder, so they're all in one location. As you can see in the From column, they're listed under the particular email address of the fire alarm control panel. If you are receiving emails from several fire alarm control panels, it's hard to distinguish which one is which is where the panel name comes in handy. As you can see in the subject line of this account, I have right here Training Panel at Potter North, and this happens to be a system status email. Here's another email from my Training Panel at Potter North. I have another panel sending me information, and that's my PFC-6000 panel that's at Potter North as well. So that's where this becomes very handy, is in this email being able to distinguish what panel is sending you information. This information is also seen in the reports. So if I bring up a report, you'll see that the panel name is the second line of information right here, and this happens to be a detector status report. So you'll also find that information there. Again, this is limited to 40 characters. It is stored in the panel, and this is used for your email and for reports. Directly under panel name, we have the system idle message. If you would like to add a custom message to the front of the LCD screen of the fire alarm control panel and the remote enunciators, you'll need to check this box, and in the box below it, you have 16 characters for your customized message for your LCD screen. For example, for my panel here in my training office, I've labeled my panel Training Room. Don't forget to check the box or the message won't display on the front of the fire alarm control panel. And remember, you only have 16 characters in this location. Underneath System Idle Message, you'll find a spot for the default outgoing email address. In this location, you can enter an email address that can be accessed through the keypad of the fire alarm control panel. In the Data Transfer menu of the fire alarm control panel, option number 7, you can select to send detector status, history, a test email, or the configuration file. In any of those options, you can select to send it to the default outgoing email address, which will then reference the email address as programmed into this box under Default Outgoing Email. Underneath Default Outgoing Email Address, you'll find Display Events. The default is Initial Event. Your other option here when hitting the drop-down menu is Newest Event. This refers to the order the events that are active on the system are displayed on the fire alarm control panel's LCD screen. When you choose Initial Event, when you approach the panel, the first event you will see will be the very first event that has occurred on the system. If you choose Newest Event, when you approach the panel, you will see the most recent event that has occurred on the system. In either option, you can use the up and down arrows on the keypad to view all the events. Your next option is SLC Blink. The default is normal. The other options, when you click on the down arrow, is slow and off. SLC Blink refers to the blinking of the LED light on your SLC devices, sometimes referred to as the heartbeat blink. Normal blink is about every 4 to 5 seconds when the fire alarm control panel pulls the device. If you choose slow, the LED will blink about every 30 seconds. The fire alarm control panel still pulls the device every 4 to 5 seconds, but the LED only blinks every about 30 seconds. If you choose the option of off, the LED on the device won't blink at all. In the event that the device is active, whether it's a smoke detector or a module, the LED will latch on as it should. Your next option is the alarm verification time, and this is in seconds. This is where you set the time for your alarm verification on your smoke detector devices. Each individual smoke detector can be set up to activate under alarm verification. You can put in any number here between 30 and 60 seconds. Each smoke detector can individually be set up for alarm verification. That designation occurs under the Points section of this software. Next we move to water flow delay, and this is in seconds. The default is 0. Adding time here will add time to the delay that is already built into the water flow device. Next is AC report delay, and this is in hours. This delay refers to the delay when an AC loss is sent to the central station. The default is 1. What this means is that the panel will wait 1 hour before sending the loss of AC signal to central station. You can put in any number between 0 and 30 hours in this section. If you put in 0, the loss of AC will report to a central station immediately on the loss of AC at the fire alarm control panel. Moving to the next column, at the top we see door holder low AC dropout delay. The default is 15 seconds. Clicking on the down arrow, your options are no delay, 15 seconds, 1 minute, and 5 minutes. A NAC circuit on the fire alarm control panel can be programmed as a door holder low AC dropout. What this means is that it will hold open the door holders for a period of time as programmed in this section, either 15 seconds, 1 minute, or 5 minutes, when there is a loss of AC at the fire alarm control panel. For example, when there's a generator on site, the 15-second door holder low AC dropout delay can be the time between the loss of AC and the time the generator starts up, keeping the doors magnetized between that time period. Next we have time to send auto test. The default is 2 a.m. This is the time the panel will send the 24-hour test signal to central station, whether using dialer or IP. This is also the time the test email will be sent. Next is strobes active when silenced. If you would like the strobes to remain active when the panel is silenced, you need to check this box. The default is unchecked. When it is unchecked, when you press the silence button at the fire alarm control panel, both the strobes and the horns will silence. If you want the strobes to remain on, make sure to check this box, and when you silence the panel, the strobes will remain active. Next we have enable power line clock synchronization. This keeps the clock synchronized to the 120 volt 60 Hz power circuit coming into the fire alarm control panel. It is recommended to keep this checked unless you have power that is not 120 volt or 60 Hz. The next general option is enable CO tone temp 4 on annunciators. The default is checked. What this means is that when you have a CO event at the fire alarm control panel, the annunciators will sound a temp 4 pattern. This is only at the annunciators, both the fire alarm control panel and any remote annunciators, and this is on a CO alarm or a CO supervisory event that has occurred at the fire alarm control panel. Your next option is display time as AM/PM. That is the default, that is checked. If you uncheck this box, the time will display as a 24-hour clock on the front of the fire alarm control panel and the remote annunciators. Again, the default is checked. Your next option is selecting the time zone. The default will be Central Standard. Clicking on the down arrow allows you to select any of the time zones. Most commonly, you'll be selecting Eastern, Mountain Standard, Pacific time zones. The option underneath that is Enable Daylight Savings Time. The default is checked, which means that the panel will automatically adjust for daylight savings time. The settings right underneath that are the current daylight savings time adjustments done in March and November. If this needs to be changed in the future, this can be adjusted in the software. That concludes the General Options tab. The next video in the software series is Sensitivity. For more information on programming, please refer to the installation manual and find other resources on our website, www.pottersignal.com.